she's scared, actually, I think. And she's so scared she cannot think anymore. Because now it's real. It's not something that is going to come. It's coming now. She's thinking about keeping me in her stomach, in her womb. But in another way, she wants to get rid of me. Because she wants to end her pregnancy. She wants to. She wants her body back. She wants to. She wants to be slim again.
Okay, I want you to try to do less describing and just connect now to Mother's exact thoughts, and anyone speaking to Mother. Until the umbilical cord is cut, your conscious mind isn't there, developed yet, so I want you to try to refrain from describing and just experience Mother's actual thoughts coming from her, and anyone speaking to her. I believe you said you were born in a hospital, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you move forward to being there, and just sense how Mother feels as she arrives at the hospital. And be very aware of anyone that talks to her, doctor, nurse, anesthesiologist. And just sense how Mother feels and what she's hearing from those around her as they prep her for the birth.
She's lost.
I feel lost. Just talk as if you're her. I feel lost.
I feel lost. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't feel confident with the doctors, the nurses. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I'm scared to feel pain in my body. I'm scared about the baby who's going to come. I would like it to be finished.
Okay.
Sorry, it's just at the same time I hear it, but within me, being the baby, and when I hear her saying I would like it to be finished, what I hear is I should better be dead, so it would be finished.
Yeah, okay. Remember what the Nazi doctors were trying to ultimately going to do. They ultimately did with you. They finished you. So you're playing out being around someone that's giving you mixed messages about whether you're wanted or not. And when you're not wanted, look what had happened in the past. You're eventually killed. So that's why this is getting reactivated right from the moment of birth. It's as if you're re-experiencing your death. So now, do you sense Mother getting any drugs to assist her with this birth? If so, you'll hear somebody speaking to her, and she may not have been given any, but just sense whether she is, and just sense what someone is saying to Mother.
She wants to be. I want to be strong. I want to give birth to my child by myself. I don't want any assistance. I don't want any drug. I just want to be strong. And it's like she's forcing herself to be strong. It's like a child trying to be an adult. And what I hear from the outside is push hard, and she's pushing hard.
Okay, say it again. Push hard.
Push hard. Push hard.
Next thing you're aware of, next thought you hear coming outside of mother here.
Well, I can hear me. I'm very confused. I have big headache, and I just had the feeling I'm not wanted, and I have to be expelled. Is that correct? Expelled? As soon as possible. So
I want you to hear the voice outside you that's reinforcing that headache. Just sense if mother has a headache or someone. There's a message there. There's something there reinforcing that. Something you're hearing it's giving you a headache.
I can hear that my father doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to see the birth. Don't know.
Okay. I want you to get.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know what.
I don't know what gives me this headache. I don't know.
Okay. Now, just be very aware of any voice outside of you here, coming from mother or the doctors.
I think that what I feel is that there's a confusion in me, because when I hear push hard, what I hear inside for myself is be strong. And be strong is what I've been doing my whole past life. So it's like
it's a command.
Yeah. So if I want to be alive in this life, I have to be strong again. So this means, well, I'm just preparing myself for such a nightmare, or the same nightmare I underwent in my past life, because I have to be strong for what's going to happen. And what happened before was really terrible. So I can feel I don't want to get out of my mom. I just don't want to get out of my mom. I just want to stay here. But I don't want to stay here because she's frightened, because she's scared, because she's feeling fat, because she doesn't want me to be... She doesn't want to feel fat because of me. I don't want to stay here because I'm the problem. I don't want to stay here because there's a lot of confusion about me being here or being out. So, I just want to get out of confusion.
Okay, let's get you out of the womb here. Let's get you to the point where you can begin to get out of the confusion. That'll be getting out of your mother's first step. So be very aware now as you get into position. Sense where you are inside mother. Head first, foot first, butt first. Just sense whether or not you're in a position to get out easily or not. Be very aware of the first part of your body that's touched. And if it's someone's hand or if it's a forceps, be very aware of any commands or voices from anyone around mother. Since she is around others, yes. She has somebody assisting her, so push harder and just, again, now you can get yourself in position to come out and you can move your body and just sense what's being said. The first part of your body that's touched.
It's my head.
Okay.
And I hear she already has some hair.
Okay, but I want you to just slow it down here for a moment, and I want you to just moment by moment sense the first part of you that's touched and the first part of you that comes out, and the very first thing you hear.
Well, I feel squeezed, it's very uncomfortable, and I'm just trying to be as little as possible. just to get out, and I want to get out as quick as possible, but I don't. There's many hands touching me at the moment, at least 2 or 3. They're not familiar. I don't know these hands. Too many people around. There are too many people around.
Okay, come to the moment you get out. Just come to the moment you're completely out.
Yeah.
Okay. Just sense if they give you to mother right away, if they cut the umbilical cord, just right away, just sense what they do first.
Don't know. I'm in I think I'm in either in the doctor's hand or in the nurse's hand.
Okay.
They're looking at me, and they're giving me to my mom.
Okay.
She's taking me on her breast.
Are you still attached to to your mother by the cord?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How do you feel next to your mother? What's the first thought that comes to your mind? What's the first feeling that you sense being there with your mother?
I'm not safe.
Okay.
I'm scared. I would like to love her, but I'm not safe. I don't know if I can trust her. This is terrible. I don't feel safe with my mom. Anyway, I think I don't feel safe with anybody anyway. So. I'm completely scared being in this world again. I'm completely scared with the light that is too strong. And there's too many, it's too noisy around.
Yeah.
Too many people.
That's what happens when you come into this world unresolved. You get bright light hospitals with noise and drugs and knives and people you don't know, and it's not usually very warm and welcoming. So that's something you'll get to resolve when we do the rebirthing. But so your first reaction is that it's not safe?
Yeah, it's not safe. I can't trust anybody. I don't know. I can't trust anybody. I'm feeling being stuck in this life now. I see. So now I'm here and I have to stay.
Okay, those are the agreements. Those are the agreements that you made that you're going to get a chance to reject. Let's move forward to when the umbilical cord is cut. Just sense when they cut that cord. Just move forward to that moment. They may say something. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. We'll just put words to the energy of the person cutting the cord.
What I hear is now it's done. Now it's done.
Now it's done. Okay, now we're finished. Okay.
Oh.
Now, at that moment, your conscious mind develops. At that very second. So as that happens, I want you to realize you can now reject all that your mother was feeling and thinking about her body image, about whether or not you were wanted, about tolerating your father
being
raping her, and you learning from that that's something you should tolerate and take. What do you want to give back to your mother and your father, including those agreements? What do you need to give back now? Give back everything from that 9 months that you don't want. All of the agreements, all of the rape, all of the confusion. You give it all back now. Tell her what you're not going to do.
But if I don't do this, I cannot live.
Okay, you're going to get a chance to get a new mom here in a moment, so don't worry about that. You're going to rebirth here and pick someone else, but it begins with you first rejecting the agreements, the unconscious agreements of having to take care of your mother until she dies, and having to be a shadow to your father. And how do you feel about that? Do you really want that?
I just don't know what it is to be different. I just don't know how it is to live without it. So
Okay, we'll just begin with rejecting that which you don't want to experience anymore, and then you'll get a chance to experience that which you are going to learn about. Life not being a victim, but just with the very first statement that comes to mind, coming from your parents, that you don't want your consciousness anymore, that you don't want to play out with them anymore.
It's the first thing that comes to my mind is me telling to my mom, I don't want to be the reason of you being fat.
Okay.
I am not the reason for you to be fat. I just have the feeling I'm a big piece of fat. It's awful. And I feel she's looking at me and she rejects me because I'm just this big piece of fat. It's disgusting. I have the feeling I'm not somebody. I'm not even a child. I'm just a big piece of fat coming out of her.
That's only the case if you're connected to these parents. If you disconnected from these parents, you would disconnect from their confusion. You would disconnect from this belief coming from them that you don't exist. So what do you need to do to disconnect from them? What voice do you need to disconnect? What agreement do you need to let go of? Having to take care and save your father and save your mother. You're a baby. You just got born. You shouldn't have to be saving your parents. They're children. You said it yourself. They're just basically children having a child.
Yeah.
You need to give back to them. What agreement?
I don't want to sacrifice myself for you. I'm telling back to my... I don't want to sacrifice myself for you.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah. I'm telling this to my mom, and I want to sacrifice myself for you, to my dad. I don't want to be your victim. I don't want to be your bin. I don't want you to be present until you die. I don't want to belong to you. I don't want to be your object. I don't want to be just your thing. I don't want to be trapped in your confusion. I don't want to follow your commands you had on me. I want to reject that. I don't want to be you.
How about I don't want to be raped?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to take on your rage. Remember what Father said, take on my rage.
Yeah, I don't want to take on your violence. I don't want to take on your rage. I don't want to take on your I don't want to take in your aggressivity. I don't want to take in your huge vision. I don't want to take in your despair.
Okay, good. Now, I want you to now create for yourself a new mother, one who's not confused. If you know someone in your life now that has these qualities, you can utilize that person. If you don't, then make them up and just in your mind the qualities of a resolved soul who's worked through their confusion, who from the moment of conception, it's a conscious conception out of love and
yeah, I just need to say something to my mom because it's very
okay, go ahead.
I don't want to save you anymore. I will not take care of you for your whole lifetime. and I will definitely not sacrifice myself for you.
Good.
I don't know how you're going to deal with your own shit, sorry, but this is not mine, and I give it back to you.
Good. It's her responsibility to work through that, not yours.
Yeah, and it's your responsibility to work through that, not mine.
Okay, good. So now that you've released that need to sacrifice for your parents and the impossible promise of having to save or fix them, realize that was made in an unconscious state, coming from a desperate place. And desperate people that die desperately choose the bare minimum of parents and agreements just to get born and to survive. You're just playing out bare minimum survival here. You don't need to do that anymore. You can come into thriving. So if you were going to thrive, if you were going to choose parents who are clear and resolved and loving and intelligent, nurturing and conscious, from the moment of conception through the whole 9 months of pregnancy, what would you be absorbing? What kind of parents would you be around? What you want to be hearing? What you want to be experiencing?
No, but I can see them, I can feel them. They're very clear.
Good.
Inside and outside, it's the energy is flowing through them, and the aura is very clear, and they're very much in love with each other, and there's much love and energy circulating through them and between each other. So I don't know, they're making love, and it's like being in love.
Yeah, being conceived in love. It's very different. It's not a violent rape. It's not. It's not about violence. It's not about control. It's not about victim. It's about love.
Yeah, about love.
Now, as you experience
About love and joy and happiness, and it's light, and it's light, and there is light.
Okay, now the agreement that I would recommend for you is one where you have freedom. It usually is something like this: I'll agree to let you be born as long as you can just be yourself. In other words, you don't have to save me. You don't have to be my victim. You don't have to take on my rage. You don't have to be the link that holds us together. You don't have to prove anything to me. You don't have to prove that you're perfect. You already are. You don't have to do anything that I haven't already resolved within me. It's very clear, simple, resolved, freeing agreement of just be yourself. How about that? That's easy, right?
Yeah.
That way you don't have to fix anybody. You don't have to
It's so much
be a victim of your family. It's simple.
Yeah, it's so much lighter.
Lighter, okay.
Yeah.
And through those 9 months, I'm assuming you're chosen set of parents that are eating properly and healthy and don't have body issues.
Being proud of being pregnant and having a stomach get bigger.
Yes, and knowing that being pregnant means your body is going to expand, and that's normal and that's wonderful. and to love one's body on all levels and at any weight, and to be with someone who parents who appreciate this and understand this, that's a healthy function.
Yeah.
And as you come to the moment of birth, and again, we can rework some of this at some point. I'm sort of fast forwarding it for time purposes, but we'll work this again if necessary. But I want you to now sense, since it's your birth, you're creating it on your terms. However you want to be born. It doesn't even have to be in a hospital. If you're a resolved soul, you don't need to come to a bright light hospital with vaccines and knives and circumcision if you're a boy, and you don't have to have C-sections and traumatic, dramatic births. It can be a very simple birth with your breathing.
In the sea with dolphins.
Okay, all right. So you can be out in the sea with the dolphins if you wish, and with a mother who's in touch with her body and who knows how to breathe out a baby. And if you want to come out because you're a resolved soul, you probably make it very easy for mother because you're not going to put up a fight with a message saying I don't want to come out. You'll want to come out. So together, mother and baby can work together very easily. You pretty much let her know, Mom, I'm ready to come out, and you'll give a signal and make it real easy on her, and she'll make it easy on you because she'll breathe deeply and properly and thoroughly. She's been practicing that, and she's in touch with her body. Maybe she's doing yoga and has done breathing exercises, and so why don't you sense yourself coming out head first, very easily and effortlessly?
Actually, it was nice to be in her stomach. I mean.
Okay, well, you can like it there because it's the environment that's going to greet you when you come out. In other words,
Because it's the first time I can feel I can be in her womb and feel safe.
yes, feel safe in the womb and out of the womb.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, is that you will sense through the whole 9 months of pregnancy that what's going on inside here is the same as it will be on the outside. It'll be safe, protected, it'll be nurturing and loving and benign and healthy and conscious. So
Wow.
when you're ready to come out, just go ahead and just sense yourself coming out head first, very easily and effortlessly, sliding out head first, neck.
It's funny because the little baby I am in the womb is just telling to her mom, Mommy, I'm coming.
Right. Yes, and she's ready. She's been waiting, and it's a conscious pregnancy. It's a conscious conception, a conscious birth. It's a whole new way of having a baby with mothers and fathers
Mommy, I'm coming.
that are
So
ready
funny.
for babies. Yeah. It can be very beautiful. You know, it doesn't have to be a traumatic event, being conceived and being born. It can be a wonderful, beautiful thing.
So it stopped again.
As I said, being born can be a very beautiful, wonderful experience when you have conscious parents that are prepared for children, that want children, that have resolved their issues, that aren't looking for you to fix them or be their victim. It's a whole different world, as you had mentioned in the last session with the dolphins, and how life can be beautiful when you're not in a concentration camp or being born to parents who are coming from similar past lives. So as you come out, sensing yourself coming out very easily and effortlessly to a protected environment, nurturing, caring, open, free environment, I want you to sense yourself out and having mother who's conscious and drug-free. She's fully aware of what's going on. Let her pick you up and put you into her bosom there, and I want you to feel what it feels like, immediately connecting to this mother that you've gotten to know through these 9 months, what it feels like to now be in her arms.
Well, it's peaceful.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her, even if my vision is blurred, but I'm looking at her and I'm touching her face like with my little hand. It's funny.
Yeah. And what would she be saying back at you? What would a resolved mother who conceived you in consciousness, who conceived you in love, what would she be communicating back to you?
Welcome on Earth with us, darling. We're so happy you're here. We love you. And we are going to take care of you and protect you as long as you need. will always be present for you. You can rely on us. You can count on us. We always love you. It's so nice to feel that I have nothing to do to be loved.
It's nice to know all you need to do is be. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to be anything else but you. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to defend yourself here. You don't have to defend your survival. You can thrive here.
Yeah.
As you develop and grow with conscious parents, you will be introduced to conscious living, conscious foods, conscious environments, conscious schools, conscious teachers, conscious neighbors, conscious community.
Conscious
Yeah.
partners. Conscious friends.
Conscious friends, yes, conscious friends. What a concept. Conscious people. People that are aware and awake and have come a long way from lifetimes of hell to one of a heavenly experience right here on earth. And that's where it exists, right here on earth. It's not some magical place you go to when you die. You come right back here to experience hell or heaven on earth. And that's not religious by any means. It's just a word a lot of people understand. It's either going to be a good experience or a bad, hellish one. And it's ultimately your choice. And you have more choice in this than you probably ever knew before, that you create this. You create your universe here, and it begins with consciousness. As soon as you got it, nobody can take it from you. It's yours. And as you put it into motion in your life here and now, because you're an adult, you're not a baby, you're just re-experiencing what it's like to come in with this new set of parents. But no, you can create those circumstances in your own life by being the mother and father to yourself that you didn't get. And that means nurturing yourself, loving yourself, feeding yourself how you'd want to be fed if you were the parent to yourself, holding yourself, educating yourself. In other words, be the parent to yourself. You put that in motion. You do it every day, every moment of the day, by doing what you want to do, exploring what it is that gives you joy, and structuring your life that way. Your personal life, your business life, it's all in alignment, where you allow yourself to feel first and then think. The life you came from, you had no luxury to feel and first and then think. It was just, what do I need to do to survive this and get through another day? But when you're out of that victim mindset and that command that says you need to stay one, you start feeling everything. You start feeling what gives you joy, and then you have a response to that. You put it in motion and you solidify it. You start asking yourself, well, what will give me joy? What do I enjoy? How can I put this in motion? If I'm going to work again, what kind of work do I want to do? What kind of hours do I want to work? And what kinds of people do I want to work with? And what boundaries do I need to make sure I put in motion so that I don't play out victim? And you know what that is more than anybody else. You know your own system, your own body, and you know what you can handle right now. Yeah. And what you may be able to handle years from now. It's going to change. As you shift and change, you'll be able to add more things to your life. Right now, your priority is loving yourself, taking care of yourself. You're doing that by being in therapy. You're doing that by exploring all avenues to self-healing.
Yeah.
So we come to a conclusion here. Just sense yourself holding yourself and loving this child, which is you, and nurturing you the way your parents weren't conscious enough to do. They have their own unresolved issues, which hopefully someday they will resolve, but it's not your problem to worry about. It's theirs. Whether they do it in this life, the next life, or the life after that, it's not your job. It's theirs.
And
So
anyway, yeah, sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, my father is dead already, so I cannot do anything for him anymore.
Yeah, whether they're dead or
my
alive.
mother.
Unless you finish those scripts, even if they're dead, they can still affect you, which you're learning. So
Yeah.
You still have to, even with your father being dead, let him know what he can't do anymore, so that you don't attract him again in the next life.
Oh no, thank you.
Okay, so just make it very clear. No, thank you, Father. From this life, either I never want to see you again, or if I ever going to see you again, it'll be when you've resolved your issues, and then we'll think. Well, I'll give it some thought, but I don't know. Until then, stay away. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel I feel some love for my father, but it's very deep, but in another way, I don't want to experience violence and anger anymore. So
Right.
that, as you said,
A lot of us that come from abused families, we also remember the good parts of them. But this is how this works: is that negative side of them, that part of them that's unresolved. Unless that's resolved, it's gonna show its head again. And so, the only way to come out of confusion is to commit to being out of confusion. And that means if somebody's confused, you show them the door. You say goodbye, or you walk away. In other words, you can't, for lack of a better word, half-ass it. You have to do it or don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? Sort of like you can't be half pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you're not, right? Either you're committed to not being a victim or you're not. You're committed to having a baby or you're not. And if you want to leave these concentration camps behind for good, it means you really need to have very, very, very strong boundaries, and make sure that anyone that comes in your space that you sense is confused, that's unresolved, it is better to be alone than to be with a confused person. That's my experience with this process. And I also find that those that are willing to explore their fears of being alone, it's just coming from lives where they needed help. And as that resolves, you no longer feel alone. You don't feel it's a dysfunction being alone. It's actually, it can be a very healthy place to grow spiritually. And then when you do that, you'll have a foundation. You won't be one of those desperate people out there just looking for a man like your mother's doing. Any man.
Yeah.
Look how that ends up. Not good. So, as you move forward in your life now, just sense if there's anyone there that's lingering or that wants to show up confused, just ask yourself, if I allow this person in, am I also basically agreeing that they could be my mother or father in the next life? Ask deep questions like that. I do all the time. And if I sense, no, this would not be someone I would want to have as my mother and father, then they can't even be my friend right now. That's pretty extreme, right? But that's how committed I am to not being a victim, because I've done enough of this work myself and been around enough clients to know that it's not worth coming back a victim. It's not fun. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's scary. I've been there, done it.
Yeah.
So you're going to find as you go through this process that you've been there, done that a lot, and it's time to get serious about not letting people in that are confusing. And know that as you do that and you commit to that, you will open yourself up to those who are resolved. They will be attracted to you because they'll know you mean business. You mean business about letting go of the baggage and resolving it. And to know that that's the way it works. And energetically you will attract that which you are yourself. either resolved or not resolved. And I think you're doing fine. I think you are going about this exactly the way you know how to, and at the pace you could handle. And I'm sure that if you keep doing that, you're going to get it all sorted out.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So that was a long session. So why don't we wrap it up? Is there anything else you want to remind yourself before we come to a close here?
Oh, it's okay. Thank you.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So don't you have a good night's sleep, and we'll talk next week, same time.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Good night.
Good night. Have a nice day.
Okay. You too. Bye.